All right, so something I'm really looking forward to is taking place this weekend on Saturday. So right now it's Thursday, and this Saturday is UFC 296. And it's got to be the most anticipated fight card of the year. Even despite the super bummer fucking news that came out like late last night, is the highly anticipated, probably more anticipated press conference interactions, but the fight between Ian Gary and Vicente Luque is canceled. Ian Gary is genuinely sick with pneumonia. You know, I hope he gets better fast. I hope he gets a fight soon, because man, the fucking press conference hype was out of this world. The idea of Colby Covington being on stage with Ian Gary and all the drama with him. You got Paddy Pimblett, you got freaking Tony Ferguson on there. Who knows who is gonna be beefing? Who's gonna seem like friends on this stage? Will there be some surprising enemies? Like, the anticipation for me for this press conference is just next level. And yeah, with all the Ian Gary drama recently, what's true, what isn't, either way, it's super fucking funny material regardless of what's true and what's not. So I was so looking forward to him being part of it. Regardless, it's still one of the best press conferences potentially of all time. Anytime Colby Covington's on stage, you know that savagery is incoming. So still super fucking excited for that. Also, yeah, I mean, what do we think about these fights, man? Colby versus Leon. I mean, listen, Colby's right about some things. Leon does have that quit in him. He has a very hard time with that high pace. And some people are talking like he did amazing in this most recent fight against Kamaru Usman. And honestly, it really wasn't that great of a fucking fight. And it wasn't insanely obvious either that Leon won. Like, it was just, that fight wasn't super telling. He had some great moments on the feet, some great body kicks. Hello, horse. Yeah. Oh, hey, what's up? That's the owner of the hostel I've been staying at, whipping it on the dirt bike. Yeah, really cool guy. But yeah, back to the fights. Yeah, the one thing I'm a little not worried about, but I think is worthy of noting is the size difference, the anticipated size difference. Now, Leon is in great shape. Muscle mass is solid. The dude's potentially 6'3". Colby Covington's 5'11", and not jacked, so even if they were the same height, no, that doesn't make any sense. But regardless, is Leon gonna be a lot stronger than Colby? Is Colby gonna bring that strength, and will he be able to take Leon Edwards down? That is the real question. I'm very excited for this matchup. I personally want Colby to win. I really like Colby Covington, to be honest. The dude's character is fucking hilarious. He's said so many funny things over the years. And yeah, he's grown on me a lot over time. So I really hope that he can get it done And what would be even cooler is if we see him break character a bit, because I know so many people would love to witness that. And I think that would just be an incredible thing. And also, look, hopefully we can get a good view. So that is a volcano. How about that? Looks pretty cool. And I haven't seen really any volcanoes in my life before this, but it's so funny how at the top of the volcanoes they always have these like clouds forming. So that's really cool. It's like just always a cloud on top at the peak of the volcano. Always, always, always. So that's cool. I noticed that and I like that. I think it's cool. So yeah, back to the fight. I would love to see Colby win. I would love to hear a victory speech from him. I would love to see that. I think Leon Edwards is a super fucking boring champion, with all due respect, because the guy has incredible skills. He's in incredible shape. So no disrespect when it comes to that. It's just the guy is boring. He doesn't say much. He's not a ferocious fighter, but it's like, what's stopping you, bro? Like, your size is incredible. Like, and with his striking ability, man, I feel like if he has some confidence in his takedown defense, he could come right at Covington and strike so fucking hard with him. But damn, a fucking cloud of bugs. I don't fuck with these bugs. They got me fucked up. Yeah. God damn, I'm getting attacked. I feel like he could just overwhelm Colby with hard, strong strikes. And Colby's a good striker. He's a very good striker. But I could see potentially, and this is why I am so excited to see these two face to face. I hope the size is closer than I'm imagining, because I'm imagining a decent size difference. I'm almost imagining Leon to look like he's one weight class bigger than Colby. And I think it will be very telling when these two are face to face, because regardless of Colby's wrestling pedigree, you know, if Leon Edwards is that hard to take down and actually is going to crank things up a notch and be that ferocious, savage striker that he has the potential of being, oh man, like I could see him finishing Colby. Like he has the ability to finish him by TKO and just crush him. If that size difference is what I'm imagining, and what else? And he comes out like a fucking savage, which he has the ability to. But however, he doesn't really. He's had some lame, boring decisions. Obviously some good finishes, but when we think about the first fight with Kamaru Usman, technically their second fight, the one with the headshot dead, I mean, he was fucking quitting that whole fight. He had a great first round. Nobody saw that takedown coming. But other than that, I mean, Usman was all over him. He gave up. I mean, what? Do we want to bring in the altitude? Because the altitude was fucking up everyone that night. People were getting tired so fast. So, I mean, man, regardless, it was really like, bro, what are you doing? Like, you barely fight. You fight like once every year or so. And it's your big moment, and you're it's seemingly giving up. And that was hard to watch. An amazing moment with the KO. Obviously, that was, one of the had to be like moments of the year. But yeah, I mean, I think Edwards leaves a lot on the table, and I don't think he is really going balls to the wall and really bringing it. So if he found a way to channel that, then that's going to be a tough night for any welterweight. Because the guy isn't super fucking easy to take down. And his striking is very good. And physique is great. And the dude seems to be strong. So he's young. And yeah, so that would be very interesting. I would love to see Colby Covington overwhelm him, and I would love to see the Leon Edwards of old that gives up a bit and can't handle that pressure sometimes. So I see Colby as being a little bit more aggressive than the Kamaru Usman that recently faced Leon. Yeah, what's up? How you doing?
I'm looking for a hostel. I think I found someone. I would have been the only one there. So, and I'm going tomorrow, so I'm a little socializing. Can you recommend something?
I think there's a Santa Cruz hostel at the corner up here. Have you checked that one out?
No.
That will be the next one that you come across, I believe. It's right where the road splits.
Yeah.
And it's going to be on the right-hand side. You'll see it right there, like across from the shop. Check out that place. Maybe it has a good vibe there.
Okay.
I've met some cool people that were staying there last week, so I would give that a try.
Santa Cruz.
Santa Cruz, yes, sir. Good luck. You know, that was a little bit of a tough moment. Dang, bugging my ear. Yeah, so this man, he's about, let's say he's like 50 something. He just pulled over to ask me a question. He's on a moped and he's got a couple backpacks, seemingly a traveler, and asking me if I could recommend a hostel for tonight. You know, I'm staying at a hostel, but I chose not to say mine, for example. So that would tell you a lot. Not that I'm at some fucking exclusive place. The more the merrier, but 50-something-year-old, I'm not just going to automatically trust you. Yeah, so I just said another place that I heard was decent. Hopefully it's good for him. Hopefully I don't have to see him again. Hopefully he's not in my fucking room later tonight, I'll tell you that much. Yeah. But yeah, back to what I was saying about the fights. I do see Colby as a more aggressive Kamaru that fought Leon recently. Now, what is the strength difference between Colby Covington and Kamaru Usman? That is the real question that I'm curious about. We didn't get to see a lot of grappling between the two of them in their 10 rounds. And so there was some questions unanswered. Their wrestling nullified itself a little bit. I'd say Kamaru won those exchanges for the most part. Even though I guess unofficially Colby got him down once. And Kamaru maybe also got him down. He had a great reversal, I remember, when Colby tried to take him down one time. So even if we say they're even, but Colby harnesses that aggression and that tenacity that may or may not be Leon Edwards' kryptonite. So I think that's a very reasonable analysis. And if these guys are closer in size than I'm imagining, and Leon's, gonna be a little timid and can't handle that pressure, then honestly, I could see Colby wearing his ass out either round after round, or honestly maybe finding a finish. Colby's an interesting guy. We don't see him a lot. It's been a very long time since he's been in the octagon. But I find it hard to believe that Colby got worse, even though maybe a lot of metrics could point to that. 35 years old, 20 months off. He fought an aging Masvidal in his last fight, but Kobe looked amazing. He shut him out. And honestly, Kobe looked really good in both fights against Usman. And I think noticeably, Usman has declined since those legendary fights with Covington in 2019 and 2021. It's been sad to see because I don't think it has to do with Usman's athletic ability. It looks like most things are pointing to knee issues. All respect to the legend. And that fight with Hamzat was super fucking close. So, the dude still got it. I would love to see him compete again at middleweight. I think the idea of him fighting Robert Whittaker is sick, and I think everyone would love to see that, and I think both fighters would embrace the fuck out of that fight. So I hope that fight happens early 2024. Let's stop waiting so long. I feel like so many people it's getting longer and longer in between their fights until we see them again. And yeah, we want to see some guys more often, and especially as they're aging. I'm sure they want to get it in as much as they can, get these last paydays, and solidify their legacies. So yeah, I don't want to see these big layoffs, from a fan's perspective, because I am a massive fan. And yeah, so I'm just really fucking excited. And hey, it's Thursday. I'm walking right now. It's 4 o'clock local time here. I'm gonna assume the press conference is gonna be live within the next hour or 2 or 3. So I'm so fucking excited to see that. A lot of questions are gonna be answered just during a press conference. Just that face off. Just let the kids see. Let me see these guys face to face. Shirts off would be great. I want to see the size difference. I want to get an idea, so that'd be awesome. Some other this fight card is fucking sick. I'm gonna assume, even with the drop off, they're bumping up Emmett and Mitchell to the main card. I mean, that seems like a no fucking brainer, because that fight is 100% main card caliber. The fact that a fight of that level is on the prelims speaks volumes to the main card. Like, there's no mistakes were made. Like, that was the logical spot for it. And that's just a testament to how incredible this fight card is. So even with that fight bumping up, the fucking prelims are still insane. So, I mean, top to bottom, every fight, you got fucking Rude Boy, Randy Brown, and Muslim Salikov leading off the night. Like, these guys have been right around the rankings, maybe even ranked at one point in time, leading off the fucking night. So, I mean, I'm gonna be glued to the screen on Saturday. There's simply no doubt about that. And I've been looking forward to it for a very long time. So I'm super excited, man. But yeah, a matchup I want to talk about is Shavkat and Wonderboy. So this matchup, I feel like people are underestimating Wonderboy. And I feel like people are underestimating Shavkat because the dude is fucking awesome. There is no doubt about that, but I don't know. This is going to be the fight that shows it, because if he goes out there and dusts up Wonderboy. Now, what would be more incredible is if he goes toe-to-toe with him and outstrikes him. That, I mean, talk about a way to show that you're next in line. Like, if Bilal Muhammad's not there, you are next in line for that title shot, no doubt. And the winner of this fight, I think it's reasonable, because this isn't my because. I want to go back to the analysis first. So the odds are crazy in favor of Shavkat, and we all know how savvy Wonder Boy is on the feet. And what I'm worried about is Shavkat. How good is his fighter IQ? Because the dude got pieced up a lot by Joff Neal. He took a lot. Joff or Jeff? Like, come on. If your name is Jeff and you're spelling it Geoff, that is some of the wackest shit ever. No offense, but like, you know, it's not your fault, but your parents, like, if it's Jeff, start Jeff. Like, come on. Joff? Where the fuck does that come from? So, yeah, that's a little side note. Unreasonable, but I don't give a fuck. So, he took some really fucking hard shots from Neal, and we know Wonder Boy brought it to Jeff Neal. So, Wonder Boy beat Neal in a 5-round decision a couple years ago, and it was obvious. And Neal had a lot of really good moments against Shavkat. And Stephen Wonderboy Thompson is so fucking precise and crafty. And if Shavkat is gonna leave himself open, if there's one thing that's guaranteed, Wonderboy will take advantage of that. The guy is not afraid to strike with anyone. Another way this fight could go is Shavkat going for takedowns, which he doesn't seem to be the quickest offensive grappler. So I could see either, you know, if he gets his hands on Wonder Boy and he takes him down, well, we're gonna know real quick how easy that is gonna be for Shavkat. But I really think Shavkat wants to prove a point, and I think he's gonna go toe to toe with Wonder Boy, and I think he's gonna leave himself open a bit, because no matter how good you are, most people take some shots from Wonder Boy. It's why Burns and fucking Muhammad had to grapple with him. Or that was their only path to victory. They couldn't strike with him the whole fight. They would have lost. In a stand-up fight, you're losing against Wonder Boy. You're going to lose a decision most likely. I see Shavkat wanted to prove a point, which would be the highest risk-reward scenario. If he tries to prove that point and he KOs Wonder Boy, if he looks crisp on the feet, if he, you know, does some spinning stuff, because he's got that in the chamber. Look at that Carlston Harris fight, spinning fucking wheel kick, spinning back kick, whatever we want to call it. You know, so Shavkat's he's crafty himself. He's very well rounded. It's massive odds, and I would not fault anyone for throwing down some money on Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, because I think this fight is closer than the odds will make you believe. So I think this is going to be a close fight. Man, I could see Wonderboy winning a decision, honestly. I could see a good war if the dude finds a way to hurt Shavkat, and if he can avoid those takedowns, which, you know, yeah, I mean, it's going to be incredible to watch, but I'm very, very excited for that matchup. I think it's an incredible matchup, and I think we give Wonderboy Thompson a title shot if he wins. I think the dude, I think he's beloved by the fans. He's been with the company for a long time. He's had many great victories, some great championship fights with Woodley back in the day, and he's got a good resume, to say the least. And honestly, recently, you know, the win against Kevin Holland, that was solid. That UK win a couple of years ago, that was nice. that was bullshit with Pereira, with Michel Pereira. That would have been cool to see that fight. But yeah, I would love to see Wonder Boy earn a title shot, and if he can pull off an awesome finish against Shavkat, or just a victory, then I firmly believe that, let's say the next title shot is Bilal Muhammad, Wonder Boy's that backup. I see Wonder Boy as the backup, and I see a situation where we could see Wonder Boy in a title fight. It's possible, and maybe that's just wishful thinking, because I like him totally. He's older, and he hasn't slowed down a lot. The dude looks great, and this is gonna be a good test, because Shavkat isn't just some crotch sniffer that's gonna be lame as hell and just take him down the whole fight. Like, I think this is gonna be a very good fight, and I think Stephen Wonderboy Thompson is going to have opportunities to finish this fight. And I see him taking advantage. I mean, some of those shots that he landed on Kevin Holland were just incredible. So, very excited. It could be a fucking dogfight, man. It really could be. This could be fight of the night, just a 3-round war. Really don't underestimate this matchup. Do I talk about Paddy and Tony? Why the fuck not? I think we all want Tony to win. I think Paddy is great for the sport and great for the UFC, and that, I think, would be most people's answer before the Jared Gordon fight. His stock fucking dipped like a motherfucker because of that fight. He seemingly lost and sounded like a total dumbass on the mic after. And that, it's sad how much his stock dipped. And I really just wish that fight didn't happen, because the dude was hyped up and he had some great finish victories. And he, from the entrance music to just the interviews, the Barstool deal, the hype, the fucking wigs, like, the dude is funny. And him getting fat, people were talking about him, but he was finishing those fights. It is sad that he's kind of become forgotten in a way, because I would like to see his stock rise again. The shitty thing is he's going against Tony, who I desperately want to see win. So these are two people I want to see win. If Paddy was against anyone else, I would be no doubt rooting for Paddy, but I think, considering the circumstances, I don't think I know. I'm rooting for Tony, man. Paddy's still got time to turn things around and win back the hearts of the fans. And maybe a fucking 3-round war. Tony wins 29-28. And these guys finish the fight all bloody and they're raising each other's hands and they're hugging. That would maybe be my dream scenario. A fucking bloody 3-round war, a Tony classic, a new side of Paddy that the UFC has not seen. We only saw one decision. It was Gordon. It was fucking trash, lame ass fight. Super controversial. But if we see this type of nostalgic T-Ferg brawl, and we see that Paddy's a part of it, the fans are going to be so fucking happy. Honestly, this is the dream result, is a 3-round war, Tony Ferguson winning 29-28. Maybe even a split decision would be fucking awesome, honestly. And I think Paddy's stock is going to rise because the fans might be back on his side. I don't know if the fans are going to be back on his side, with a decisive victory over Tony Ferguson because we want to see Tony win. We love Tony. We don't want to see Tony lose. We don't want to see Tony get finished again. We don't want to see 7 straight losses next to Tony Ferguson's name. The guy is so beloved. He's truly a fucking legend. He's hilarious. He's such a cool character, man. Like, so, yeah, that is definitely the ideal scenario. Split decision, Tony Ferguson win, bloody fucking war, fight of the night bonuses all around. I mean, I'd love to see that. And Tony gets that W, retires or not, doesn't matter. At least we got to see Tony win again. And what that will do to his confidence will be amazing because the dude deserves it. He stays so mentally strong despite these losses. Despite these losses. After the highest of highs and now the lowest of lows, like, I'm feeling for the guy and I would love to see him win. And I also would like to see Patty's stock go up too. So, yeah. Damn, looks like it's about to rain. Oh well. So yeah, I hope that happens. Yeah, and I don't even want to see, like, ideally Tony wouldn't knock him out. I think that decision win, a fucking war, would be so sick. Another one, Bryce Mitchell and Josh Emmett. I mean, this one came out of nowhere. An amazing opportunity for Mitchell to inch closer to that top 5. His fight against Ige was all right. He won, but he took some heavy shots from Ige, and I am worried about Emmett's knockout power. Like, the dude is fucking ferocious, and Mitchell has been hit big in his last 2 fights against Ige and against Topuria. Now, he's proven that he's got a chin to an extent, but man, I could see Emmett turning his lights off. So, maybe that's just the PTSD from all those highlights with the Ricardo Lamas KO, the Michael Johnson KO. I mean, those are just vicious knockouts. The ferocity that this man throws that hook with is incredible to watch. It is incredible. So I really hope Bryce Mitchell is not on the wrong end of that fucking hammer swinging across the octagon. I would love to see these two strike. I would love to see Bryce Mitchell show improvements in the striking category. I just don't know if he's that type of athlete, man. It's going to take more time for him to show improvements and maybe to just go train some boxing in a different environment for a while. I don't know. Just be with some high-level kickboxing people, totally new environment, and work on that athleticism on the feet. The dude is incredible on the ground, incredible skill, and he showed new flexibility, which was great to see. Some of the scrambles he was in and his attempts for submission against Ige were awesome, and the dude is fucking awesome on the ground. I would love to see his strength improve. I would love to see his striking ability improve, and for him to look like more of an athlete when he's striking. On the ground, that's one thing, but on the feet, he's just not really looking like an athlete. And another guy like that is Paul Craig. The same type of thing where it's like, man, because some people just have that athletic connection, And maybe that's just what it is. Like, you could train something for so many years. If you don't have it, you don't have it. Like someone like Josh Emmett, I bet you before he even started training, if you told him to throw a hook like that, he probably did something that resembled what we've seen of him. You know, like those KOs, he carried something into training before he even KO'd anyone. He just had a certain connection and a certain ability to throw strikes. And some stuff just can't be trained. So yeah, I really hope that Bryce looks better on the feet. I would love to see him take some good shots. I'd love to see him deliver some good shots. I would love to see some back and forth striking action from these two. I think that would be incredible, and I would love to see Bryce Mitchell win. I would have loved to see Josh Emmett win that interim strap and challenge Volk. I thought that would have been a really cool matchup, but he might have peaked, respectfully. Dude's awesome. He's had so many great highlights, and mad respect for Josh Emmett. But he's getting close to 40, and I think his best fights are behind him. So Bryce Mitchell's someone on that come up still. I don't think he's peaked yet. I still think he has a lot of room to grow. So I would really love to see a Bryce Mitchell victory. Most importantly, is it most importantly? I really want to see that improvement on the feet, because I don't think he will become champion of this division. I mean, it would be so fucking unlikely. When you think of the top dogs at the top of this division, you know, you got fucking Topuria, Volk, Max, even guys like Arnie Allen, Calvin Kattar. I mean, their striking is really fucking nice, and they're good grapplers, and especially they're very good anti-grapplers as well. Once I started talking about grapplers, I just thought, wow, could you imagine a matchup between Bryce Mitchell and Funkmaster, Aljamain Sterling? I think that would be a really awesome matchup. Two guys that just don't really have that striking power, but they're both awesome, crafty fucking grapplers, flexible, good at finding that submission. Now that's a fucking sick matchup, now that I think about it. And Bryce Mitchell is not a big 45er. He's a small 45er. I don't think he could make 35, but he's not Diesel, respectfully. So that fucking matchup, I think, would be so awesome. I think it could be similar to, because listen, these guys aren't trash on the feet. I don't want you to get that impression. They're certainly not trash. But when we compare them to some of the fucking hammers at 145 that can, will, and have shutting lights out, these guys, they don't possess that ability. And if they do, we haven't seen it yet. And if they did, I think we would have seen it. So that matchup, that I think would be reminiscent of Covington Usman. Speak of the devil, but I think that type of matchup would be absolutely incredible. We could see a all-out fucking war. Man, with a Bryce Mitchell victory. I think if Bryce has a lame victory, where let's say it's same victory as Ige, I wouldn't consider that an amazing victory. One where Emmett crushes him with some shots, Bryce takes it, gets him down, wins grappling exchanges, controls for the majority of the fight, edges out a 29-28 decision or split decision. I think you got to do the Aljamain Sterling Bryce Mitchell. I think you do 5-round main event. I think that would be absolutely incredible. I'm so excited just talking about this matchup because I want to see it happen. It never crossed my mind until this rant that I'm on right now. So, that's super fucking likely. Because I don't want to see Aljamain versus Calvin Kattar, which there's talks that he was offered that fight. I think Calvin Kattar is so much better on the feet. He's a lot bigger. Man, I think Sterling gets knocked the fuck out in that fight, with all due respect. Calvin Kattar, size-wise, is a more filled out Sean O'Malley. They're probably the same height, whereas Sean O'Malley is skinny. Calvin Kattar is not skinny. Like, the dude's in good fucking shape. He's a big 45er, and especially in his fight with Max. I mean, he's got more muscle mass than Max. He was bigger than Max. And going into that fight, I was like, wow, like, Calvin Kattar's a fucking big dude. So yeah, I think Sterling gets dusted in that fight. I think the one with Max, I think he knows that he's going to get dusted against Max too. But it's just such a high-level matchup that it's worth it just to take that risk. Calvin Kattar, that I don't like Sterling's odds. I love the Sterling and Bryce Mitchell fight. And this could be a way for one of these guys to get a title shot at 145 and still give them more time to work on their striking, because neither of them are going to win a title at 45 with their current striking abilities. Respectfully, because I like both of these guys. They're fantastic mixed martial artists. I just think there are some real fucking killers at 145. And these two, if they want to be champion, which I believe they have the ability to, they're going to need to focus severely on that striking and that athleticism and that power and that striking defense, because it is so fucking key in this division. Yeah. So